My audience.
Might want that dog.
Have you ever given physician assisted suicide a thought if you were ever to be diagnosed with a disease that was going to take your life? Physician assisted suicide should be legal in every state. Imagine being trapped in a body that no longer functions like it is supposed to, enduring pain that no longer responds to medication, and watching life slip away with no control, no peace, and no choice. This is what physician assisted suicide offers. I stand before you to argue that physician assisted suicide, when carefully regulated and ethically administered, should be legal and an ethical option for terminally ill patients. This isn't just about dying, it's about dying without the suffering for you and your family's sake. First, let's talk about autonomy. One of the pillars of modern uh, medicinal ethics. Autonomy means the right to make decisions about your own body and life. We respect this in nearly every medical context, when refusing chemotherapy to choosing a do not resuscitate order. So, why do we draw the line when it comes to choosing a peaceful assisted death? Terminally ill patients often face unimaginable suffering. For some, even the most advanced palliative care can eliminate the pain, indignity, or loss of quality of life. Denying them this option of physical assisted suicide is not protection. It's cruelty disguised as the moral high ground. Ethically, autonomy means we have the right to control the end of our life when nature or illness has taken every other choice away. Choosing to end someone's suffering is not giving up. It's an act of courage, of rationality, and reclaiming control. On September 17th, 2017, Lois Solmassi stated in an article titled Ethics and Legalization of Physician Assisted Suicide, states that a 1997 report titled Approaching Death: Improving Care at the End of Life by the Institute of Medicine documented that inadequate end of life care is all over the United States. Second, the principle of compassion demands that we allow this option. Medicine is not only about prolonging life, it's about relieving suffering. When a patient is enduring irreversible pain, the compassionate act is not to force them to live through it, but to give them a merciful option. In an article titled Right to Assisted Suicide by Esther De La Torre, with no publication date, stated, it is sad to realize that these people are in such great agony that to them the only hope of bringing the agony to a halt is through assisted suicide. An article titled Pros and Cons of Physician Aid in Dying, posted on December 20th, 2019, by Lydia S. Dugdale, states opponents argue that permitting assisted suicide opens the door to abuse or coercion. But let's be clear, countries like Canada, Switzerland, and states like Oregon have rigorous safeguards in place: psychological evaluations, multiple physician approvals, waiting periods, and patient consent throughout the whole process. Abuse is not rampant. In fact, data shows that the presence of this option actually brings comfort, even if the patient doesn't use it. NPR staff posted an article on November 20th, 2014, called Debate: Should Physician Assisted Suicide Be Legal? Since Oregon legalized physician assisted suicide for the terminally ill in 1997, more than 700 people have taken their lives with prescription medication, including Brittany Maynard, age 29, who was diagnosed with an incurable brain tumor. Third, physician assisted suicide supports dignity in death. Dignity doesn't mean a quiet room and clean sheets. It means having the power to say goodbye on your own terms. Imagine the difference between a long, drawn out decline and a moment where someone chooses to be surrounded by loved ones, alert, at peace, and in control. Let's not forget, death is inevitable, but the way we die is not. Forcing people to endure what they consider to be unbearable or undignified isn't moral, it's inhumane. An article titled Six Reasons Why Physician Assisted Suicide, posted on October 5th, 2023, by Guy Hurst, states it's about making sure that every terminally ill or incurably suffering person has control over their own body. Lastly, we must consider the legality doesn't mean coercion, it means choice. Legalizing physician assisted suicide does not mean everyone must choose it. It simply gives people the right to choose. It isn't that the essence of ethics? Not imposing values, but allowing individual choice. For many, terminally ill, just knowing that they have the option gives them peace. For some, it means never using it. For others, it means saying goodbye before the suffering overshadows their joy of life. In conclusion, physician assisted suicide, when properly regulated, is not only ethical, it is compassionate, rational, and deeply humane response to suffering. It respects autonomy, relieves suffering, upholds dignity, and provides peace. We already allow people to live on their own terms. Isn't it time that we allow them to die on their own terms as well? Good job.